and they left the school. And Daryl tells it now every year at his annual golf tournament, which is at Bethpage. We had our second annual this year in August at Bethpage Golf Course here in New York. And he walked out of that day with the autistic children, and he realized at that moment that the real purpose of the next part of his life was determined, because he and Tracy looked at each other, and between them they have 8 healthy kids. Mm-hmm. One of his sons plays in the NBA, DJ Strawberry.
Yeah, my son Jeff told me that
right,
too.
Exactly. He just came back from Italy, and he played for Phoenix, and now he's going to get signed by another NBA team. But they looked at each other, and Daryl has tears in his eyes every year when he tells this story at the dinner of the golf tournament at Bethpage. And it just tears at your heartstring. And they have a video, actually, that they show of Daryl with the autistic kids. And he's just so perfect because he's so childlike, yet he's so enormous. He's the same shape he was in when he played ball. He's 6'5" or 6'6", not an ounce of fat on his body, and he's just a beautiful man. And now he's going to spend the next, God willing, 40 years, 50 years of his life helping these autistic kids and many other
right,
things.
And you're the assistant
director of his foundation. That's one of the things I do, yeah.
So that's great. Yeah, you do a lot of great things.
I got very lucky, Judy, you know, and as anyone from Bill Gates to, I'm not going to mention Donald Trump because I don't think he's in that category, but from Bill Gates to many other people that have and I'm not in Bill Gates' category, but to anyone who has succeeded in life, they realize the answer is now to give it back. Because that's what I was taught from day one, is we give to get. And the more we give, the more we get.
I believe in that.
That's the way I try to live, and sometimes less successfully. But what I try to keep to myself, I lose, because it's in the giving that it reproduces. And that's with everything. That's with love, that's with money. I just got a call before I was coming here today from Israel that a friend of mine who became enormously successful in Israel is being given an award right now in Tel Aviv from some major foundation. And another person who knows me from out here, an Israeli, called to tell me about this, and he wanted to meet this first person, Guma. So he said, I have your card in my hand. He says, could you send him a text to tell him to at least talk to me? So that was right before I came here. That's what I like to do. I'm a connector.
You know, I like to do that too.
I know you do. I know that. That's how you become Judy.
It's funny that I just mailed a birthday card to my friend who's in Israel.
Oh, wow.
And I'm so late lately. I don't know why I'm so late with everything. Her birthday is tomorrow, and I just mailed a card.
Well, that's way ahead of what I would have done. I mean, you consider that late? The postmark beat the birthday. You made it. Come on.
She's been my friend since we were 14 years old.
Oh, my God.
And I was supposed to go with her to Israel, but somehow I derailed, and I came to America.
Oh, wow, really?
So she's there in Netanya. I went to visit her 2 years ago. She sent for me.
So she went to Israel from where? Where were you originally from?
Well, we were en route. Well, we were born in Hungary.
That's
so
what
we
I meant.
were,
Okay.
yes. And then
so you went from Hungary to here, and she went from Hungary to Israel, with some stops in between.
Not that easy.
Right.
I'm just writing a story about that in a play form.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm almost done with it.
Beautiful. Good girl.
So anyway, and what do you do? I mean, you're here in the Hamptons, and you're in New York, and then what do you do in Miami? No, in Florida.
Yeah, right by Boca, Fort Lauderdale. It's actually called Coconut Creek is where I live. And I have a beautiful life down there. I have a 20... Is
that where you relax, or you do some work too?
No, I relax everywhere, and I do the same thing everywhere. okay? I jump out of bed every morning.
You do.
At about 6 or 6:30 because I did a survey. 95% of everyone who dies lying down. So,
really?
Ask Lee. So I'm up and out of bed. That's why Lee
I
says
have to remember that.
That's true. Just jump up. So now you've got it for another day. That's it. And I do that in Florida, and I do it here. And, you know, I have my son who's 24, lives in Florida, and we spend some time together. He's a beautiful young man.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 children from 2
different wives.
Women, right.
One son who is 24.
And my daughter, who came here last night, we had dinner, is 35, and she runs American Eagle, the clothing store in the Northeast. That's what she does.
What do you mean she runs?
The district of all the stores, and they're a very big company, and of all the stores from Brooklyn to East Hampton. So she was at her store in Bridgehampton.
So,
and that's
Paul, where were you born?
I was born in Queens, New York City.
And you went to school there?
I went to school all straight through Queens. I went to my mother was born in Russia, God rest her soul.
Really?
In Kiev, yeah.
And your father?
My father was born in Brooklyn. My mom came here when she was 4. They were all from a small town in Kiev. And actually, we all have a grave plot at Old Montefiore Cemetery, which you don't want to get into right away. But that's where the Rebbe, the old, the famous guy, the Rebbe Schneerson, that's where he is, in the Old Montefiore. So when we went, my wife and I went last week, when you go to visit someone in the cemetery, you visit everyone, because they all bought the plots together. So it's my family, my uncles, my grandmothers, my parents. It's pretty wild. So
your father was born here, and your mother was born in Russia.
Yeah, but